Do you also face problems such as heartburn? What is heartburn? Many people complain that after eating, they become agitated, as if there's acid reflux throughout their esophagus towards their mouth. It could hurt them. It could cause a lot of pain. It could be acute, happening just one night because of bad food they ate or something happened to them. Or in many cases, it is chronic. When it is chronic, it's been there for a very long time. In conventional medicine, they give medications such as cimetidine, which is called Tagamet, or similar ones. These are antihistamines, or omeprazole, pantoprazole, the other form of medications, which all of them together will shut down the cells in your stomach which are responsible to produce stomach acid. There you go. If you don't have stomach acid, you don't have heartburn anymore. But the problem is that the stomach acid is important to have. It helps us to digest our food. Without that, it's impossible to handle the food we ingest. It creates a barrier for unwanted microbes not to pass through. It helps our body to keep the overall pH of our body in a balanced way, which is very, very important. And also, the same cells which produce stomach acid, they also produce something called intrinsic factor. This is an element that will help our body to absorb vitamin B12 at the end of the small intestine. As you may know, vitamin B12 is a very important and crucial element for keeping our blood healthy, the shape of our red blood cells and the quality of the blood and the power of the blood, and many, many more. Additionally, vitamin B12 is very important to keep our nerves healthy and strong. They create a cover around the nerves. It's like electrical wires. Without these covers, nerves can never function properly. So the use of medications to suppress our stomach acid for long term will create a lot of additional unwanted effects. We don't want that to happen. So what happens with the heartburn? People who are experiencing heartburn, especially for a long time, they don't have a lot of acid in their stomach. In fact, because of the stress that could happen only because of this condition, the amount of acid production in their stomach is much less than average. The problem is that the door on the top of the stomach, the sphincter, does not close properly. When it's not shut down properly, the content of the stomach could come up and start irritating the tube on the top, which is called esophagus, the tube that connects mouth to stomach. Esophagus inside is not covered by the protective layer against the stomach acid. So it creates inflammation, and it starts pain and discomfort, and it could cause ulcers and a lot of other degenerative diseases in future. Now, how to treat that? First of all, we have to know what is it we are eating that triggers that. It's food sensitivity and intolerances. It doesn't have to be an allergy. 2, what is the biggest source of stress in our mind? Because when our body is stressed, these nerves which are responsible for closing and opening the sphincters cannot function properly. So the stress and the unease in the state of mind is a very important factor. Sometimes our bad lifestyle could trigger that. People eat a lot of food and drink a lot of fluid, and they lie down, and they go to bed at night with full stomach. Sometimes eating very stimulating foods such as spices, lots of coffee, alcohol, or things like that could trigger this. We have to understand what are the trigger points, and we need to change our lifestyle. For example, we should not lie down or sleep right after eating. We should eat small but more frequently. We should avoid drinking plenty of fluid with the food. At night, at least 3 hours before we go to bed, we should not eat anything, and at least 1 hour before to go to bed, we should not drink anything. Now, if you become thirsty, a few sips of water is always allowed. If lying down will trigger that, it's better to go to bed in a semi-sitting position. Have a couple of pillows in your back so you don't lie down flat. Small behavioral changes and attitude, and modifying our diet, and taking a few nutritional supplements that could help us to protect against these abrasive conditions and long-term inflammation are the key. Remember, your stomach acid is a very important component for your health. Without that, you can never be a healthy person. So if you're suffering from long-term problems such as including heartburn or anything related to that, you may find this video interesting. If you have any further question or you want to share your experience, please feel free. Send me your questions or your comments down below. I will take a look at them. I'll try my best to respond them as much as I can. Until next time.